a city like Rochester, which is at its foundation a wonderful place to live. You wake up every day and the newspaper talks about some new homicide, some new murder. I think that impacts from an economic point of view and from a geographic kind of point of view. I think that definitely impacts the way you feel about your city, and it's not necessarily correct because there's a lot of stuff here that people really like. People move here and really like living here. I had an opportunity recently to talk with our Lieutenant Governor. I don't know if you know, our Lieutenant Governor in New York State is a guy by the name of Bob Duffy, who grew up in Rochester, was a police officer in Rochester, was police chief in Rochester, and then was the mayor of Rochester before he went on to become Lieutenant Governor. And we had him come and speak at one of our recent conferences, and he had a very unique perspective, having grown up in the city, clearly been, born and bred, spent his whole life here. Then as police officer, police chief, having to control the violence and come up with strategies to reduce violence. And then as the mayor, have that be part of the equation as you're trying to sell your city, because you want new business, you want new people coming to your city. It's a very unique perspective because all of those things impact how people feel about living here. And even though maybe you don't live in the city, maybe you live in a suburb, you're still looking at every single day you're turning on the news and something's going on like this. And at the end of the day, that's totally preventable. It's totally preventable, and you don't want to see that. And there are other cities around the country where they don't have that problem. So what's different about ours? I think from that point of view, the people who see it every single day, it's easy to become discouraged. But I think because of the mindset of the people who do this kind of work, it's always on to the next one. Mm-hmm. I think you're not going to get discouraged by this one. You're going to move on to the next one, try and do the best you can. And I think overall, certainly the folks here in Rochester who do this work are committed to putting themselves out of business. So it's not just 3 doctors, or 2 social workers. It's like the group as a whole is evolving to the mindset of let's put ourselves out of this particular business because there's plenty of other work to do. And I think the nurses are getting involved. I think from the EMS perspective, people are getting involved. I mean, there's also opportunities through these partnerships. They are helping us with our intervention effort, but we are helping them with their various prevention efforts. And we do things with the school district on an annual basis, and we do things with probation and parole and stuff like that. So we help each other, and I think we get some support from doing that as well.